Hey, it's Miss Alana, working on math, being smart, awesome, and amazing, just like you. We are working on this week's tasks and standards. This video is on, bam, this task right here. So if this is what you're working on, you're in the right video. If not, go find the other videos. Remember, there are 14 tasks that you need to complete this week. Let's begin by reading of our fancy blue triangular prism. Let's start with the domain. What does it say? Measurement and data. Here is our essential question. What formulas can be used to find volume? Here's our learning target. I can use formulas to find the volume of rectangular prisms. Make sure you have your journal and your pencil. Write that learning target in there so you know what you're learning and you know what you can do. Flipping it over to the back side, we have our standard. Read that with me. MGSE5.MD.5b. Apply the formulas. V equals L times W times H. That means volume equals length times width times height. And B equals B times H, base times height. For rectangular prisms, to find volumes of right rectangular prisms with whole number edge lengths in the context of solving real world and mathematical problems. Yes, here are some vocabulary words. You should know these words. Remember, you can write these also in your journal. Use the highlighter to highlight any keywords you have. We have formula, rectangular prism, volume, whole number, lengths, real world, mathematical problems. Our rigor, our challenge for the week is to apply formulas to find volume, solving real world and mathematical problems. Let's begin. Let's take a look at this. It says, match the correct volume or model to the given formula. Now, it may look a little bit confusing, so let me explain to you what you need to do. Here at the top, we have 4 different choices, 4 different volumes and models, okay? So here we have the volume, so that means that's the total volume, 80 cubic units. We have a total volume here, 24 cubic units. We have a model right here of a rectangular prism. And we have another model right here, another rectangular prism. Just like we were using our unit cubes, they just built one and have it right there. Now, we have 4 different, formulas down here, and we need to match up the formulas with the correct volume or the model, okay? Do you remember? How do we find the volume? Let's write it down somewhere. Let's write it up here. So we know volume is what? Length times width times height, which is also the same thing as volume equals the base times the height. Now, let me explain that. Remember, these are 3-dimensional objects, 3-dimensional figures. It has a flat bottom, which has a length and a width, and then it goes up into its height. That's the 3rd dimension. Otherwise, if it's 2D, 2-dimensional, it's just flat. Flat objects, they have a length and a width. Now we add the height to it, and that gives you the volume. It makes it 3D. So there's the length, the width, and the height. Now, what do you notice here that's the same and different from that one? So look, the height is the same, but the base was replaced with the length and width. But remember, length and width, it's flat, so that's length times width, so that's the base. Same thing, that's the bottom. All right, got it? Let's go ahead and work them out, and I'll clear up any other confusion you may have. So we have this first one, 5 units, 3 units, 5 units. So 5 units times 3 units times 5 units. So that matches this formula right here where you have a length, a width, and a height. Because look, 1, 2, 3 things. So let's find the volume. What do we do? Multiply them together. And look, it says it right there. What is 5 times 3? 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 5 is, go ahead, work it out. Work it out on the paper. What's that? 75. Or you can, remember, switch them around. We can mix them around and multiply, and we'll still get the same answer. We can do 5 times 5 is 25 times 3 is 75. So the volume of that is 75 units. Oops, not 75 units. Look, cubic units. And that's like writing units to the third. Remember I told you we're multiplying 3 different units, so it's always to the third power. And that little 3, another word for that is cubic. Okay? Now, it's not 80, it's not 24, so it has to be one of these models. So let's look at the model. Which one shows 5 units as a length, 3 units as the width, and 5 units as the height? Or they can be switched around. You only have 2 choices, either that one or that one. It's this one right here. Look, because that one you can see that only has 2, and it has 4 and 2. That's not it. So it's this one right here. Now, it may be kind of tricky, but draw that as best as you can. I'm going to draw my best. So maybe I'm just going to draw an arrow. That one goes with that one. Oh, who's calling me? Let me just draw that as best as I can. Woo! Miss Alana got fancy with that one. Ooh! Oh my gosh, I'm so proud. I didn't even know I was going to be able to do that, but bam, you never know what you can do until you try. Oh, and they hung up. I'll get back to them in a second. Moving on to the next one. I have 3 units times 4 units times 2 units. What do we do to find the volume? Multiply all those units together. I can do 3 times 4 is 12, times 2 is 24, or I can do 3 times 2 is 6, times 4 is 24, or 4 times 2 is 8, times 3 is 24. So let's write 24 cubic units. Do you see that? Where is that? Oh, bam, right there. So we have that one for this second one right here. Okay? Moving on to the next one, we have 4 square units times 4 units. Now, what do you notice is different about this one than the other 2? I'm only multiplying 2 things, which means it's not a length, width, and height. It's this base times height. And look what else is different. You see how all these other ones say units, units, units. Units, units, units. That one says square unit. Square units means I already multiplied 2 things together. Bam. The length and the width. And then there's the height right there. Now, let's go ahead and multiply because I could just do that formula. Base times height. And 4 times 4 is what? 16 cubic units. Right there. And is that it? Oh no. Is this it? Let's double check. 4 square units. Look at the bottom. I have 2 going this way and 2 going that way. And 2 times 2 is 4. Right there. And then the height is 4 units, which is right there. Bam. Let's draw that as best as we can. How many was that? 4? Bam, right there, as best as you can. All right, almost done. You already know that last one is that last one right there, but we're going to go ahead and check it out anyway. We have 20 square units times 4 units. Remember, I don't see 3 things. I don't see a length and width and height, but I see this clue right here, the square units, which means I already multiplied 2 numbers to get that. So now let's just multiply that together. 20 times 4 is what? 80. 80 cubic units. And do we have it up top? Oh, yes. Bam. Right there. So everything is matched up perfectly. Remember, write everything out as best as you can. Draw everything out as best as you can. We are done with this task. If you need any of the other tasks, any of the other videos, go find those videos. Remember, study, study, study. Work hard, work hard. Then we're going to play hard, really, later on when we have mastered all our standards. Remember, get smarter and smarter every day. Love you.